Well, guys, we are back for another episode of the Liberal Asshole Show, episode 133. And what are today's topics?
Trump is a pedo. Deal with it. Dipshit vibros get wrecked. Parental style test. Sex pest Andrew Cuomo still running for New York City mayor. Is Trump doing a 180 on Ukraine? Meatloaf Joe Rogan says why he supports Trump. A new Syrian crisis flare up.
Oh boy, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So, what do we start with first?
I think we can start with the Donald Trump is a pedo. Deal with it.
Oh, you conservatives, you reap what you sowed, and it's absolutely hilarious. With all the scandals going on the last few weeks about the Jeffrey Epstein crap. Now Trump is saying it's all Obama and Biden's fault, of course, Dems covering up and all that, and all this bullshit. And all this bullshit because he can't accept the fact that he is a pedo. And I love making fun of him for it. And conservatives are raging mad now. And all of a sudden they're so quiet on the Epstein crap when for years and years and years they wouldn't shove about it. And now it's getting blown up in their face. Isn't it beautiful?
Awesome. I've got an article an article related to it. On a read through.
Yep, so read through. Right, let's see how awesome this is.
And the big and better bit is that he threatens to sue Rupert Murdoch over Wall Street Journal report alleging 50th birthday letter to Epstein.
Fucking baby. So let's get this going.
US President Donald Trump says he plans to sue media mogul Rupert Murdoch and News Corp. Oh, that's gone. Over a report in the Wall Street Journal that claims he wrote a sexually suggestive birthday letter to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. In a post to his Truth Social platform on Thursday, Mr. Trump denied the story and condemned the Murdoch-owned newspaper's reporting of what he called a fake letter supposedly to Epstein. The paper reported that Epstein had been given a leather-bound book of bawdy letters from associates for his 50th birthday in 2003, including a letter bearing Mr. Trump's name alongside a drawing of a naked woman. The Wall Street Journal printed a fake letter supposedly to Epstein. These are not my words, not the way I talk. Also, I don't draw pictures, the president said in his Truth Social post.
Sure,
I told
pal.
Rupert Murdoch it was a scam, that he shouldn't print this fake story, but he did, and now I'm going to sue his ass off and that of his third-rate newspaper.
Sure.
Yeah. Shortly after his first post on the issue, Mr. Trump said he had asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony related to the Epstein case, a move that would fall well short of what has been demanded by even his own supporters.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden his supporters are really bad because I forgot to mention too, he's shitting on him, telling him like forget about the Epstein crap, and of course a whole bunch of them are falling in line like trying to be quiet about it now. I wonder why.
Gee, I wonder why. Could it be that he was at the top of Epstein's list?
And he's a pedo?
Based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval.
And I'm a lollycoon.
This scam perpetuated by the Democrats should end right now. Yeah.
Come out, admit you're a lollycoon, and deal with it.
Shortly after Mr. Trump's statement, Ms. Bondi said on X that the Justice Department was ready to ask the court on Friday local time to unseal the grand jury transcripts. President Trump, we are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts, she wrote. Epstein, a financier and convicted sex offender, was murdered in prison in 2019. They say died. I'm adding the was murdered bit because I do not believe he committed suicide. Report alleges Trump wrote a wonderful secret in birthday letter. Mr. Trump wrote on Truth Social that the White House had warned Mr. Murdoch about the validity of the letter, but that the newspaper had gone ahead with the story anyway. Mr. Murdoch stated that he would take care of it, but obviously he did not have the power to do so, the statement said. The editor of the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker, was told directly by Caroline Levitt and by President Trump that the letter was fake, but Emma Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, they're going with a false, malicious, and defamatory story anyway.
Sure, pal, sure.
Sure. The letter was reportedly collected by Epstein's partner, disgraced British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, as part of a birthday album for Epstein years before the wealthy financier was first arrested in 2006 and subsequently had a falling out with Mr. Trump. I'm kind of surprised she's still alive, honestly. The letter, which bears Mr. Trump's name, includes text framed by the outline of what appears to be a hand-drawn naked woman and ends with "Happy birthday and may every day be another wonderful secret," according to the newspaper. The outlet described the contents of the letter but did not publish a photo showing its entirely. The ABC has contacted News Corp for further comment. Maxwell was arrested in 2020 and convicted a year later on charges that she helped Epstein lure girls to be sexually abused. Yep.
Keep going.
Epstein client list sparks growing MAGA rift.
Now here's where it gets really funny.
The latest controversy comes amid a growing rift within the president's Make America Great Again MAGA Republican coalition over the Epstein files and a reported client list that the FBI says do not exist. Bullshit.
Oh, they don't exist all of a sudden, people. Where was all the crap for the last few months and years about? Now all of a sudden they don't exist now. Doesn't that seem a little odd, people?
PSYOP, remember?
Yep.
Remember, CIA PSYOP.
It's so fun making fun of them the last few weeks. But keep going.
Last week, it would not release any further documents related to Epstein or his alleged suicide in a New York jail cell. Again, I added alleged because, I do not believe that. On Thursday, Mr. Trump labeled many of his supporters stupid and weaklings for believing what he described as the Jeffrey Epstein hoax.
So all you people that believe this crap, now all of a sudden he's calling you all stupid now. How does it make you feel?
Truth Social Post, the US president compared claims of an Epstein client list to other high-profile sagas, including allegations Russia interfered in the 2016 election. Mr. Trump has previously pointed the blame at the Democrats for peddling the story. The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again.
Oh, that's so amazing. Keep going.
Coming to the end of it. Mr. Trump knew Epstein socially in the 1990s and early 2000s. During the 2021 trial of Epstein's associate Ghislaine Maxwell, the financier's longtime pilot, Lawrence Visocki, testified that Mr. Trump flew on Epstein's private plane multiple times. Mr. Trump has denied ever being on the plane and has not been accused of any wrongdoing.
Sure. Oh, man, that was a good read. So, yeah, what do you guys say about all this Epstein debacle in the last few weeks? It's been beautifully hilarious.
Remember, we're now in remember, we've had the construction of Alligator Auschwitz. We are now in 1940 Nazi Germany, or at least you guys are.
Mm-hmm. But hey, at least it's fun making fun of... It's fun still making fun of these idiots, though.
That it is, yes. Yeah, also remember, America's Nazi Germany, El Salvador is fascist Italy, and Israel is the Empire of Japan.
Yep. But yeah, what do you guys say about this debacle the last few weeks? Isn't it beautiful?
It's been amazing to watch. It's been amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's
amazing. A lot of the times I've been watching the Chuds meltdown about the awesome Superman movie. Oh yeah. Now it completely ruins their anti-woke narratives.
You see Charlie Kirk talking about now he's not going to talk about Epstein anymore.
Yep.
Dim full.
Yep.
Alex Jones says that the deep state is going to kill Trump and all that. Oh my gosh, it's just so much cope from all of them. It's hilarious. So yeah, Trump's a pedo and all that. And hey, you all support pedos, so how about that one? After all, you all voted for the dipshit, not us. Yeah. So we're going to make fun of you forever, you pathetic losers. Because you're always, always, always going to be losers. Oh, beautiful. And fuck Trump, too. Oh, that was great. I'm going to keep enjoying the meltdown over the next few weeks. That was beautiful. So, I think we got that out of the way. On to the next topic.
Vibros get wrecked. Dipshit vibrator. Yeah, Vibrator Bros is the name that I'd be calling.
Yep, now I gotta be annoyed now. Great. So, this is now like the third video now we have to cover on piece that of stupid dipshit Andrew Schultz now. Mr. Vibe motherfucker, remember?
Andrew shit.
So yeah, awesome video that David Dole did, where now Schultz admits that Trump duped him and now he's a Bernie bro. Maybe you should have been a Bernie bro from the very start. How about that one? Like we've been. So yeah, let's watch this and get actually annoyed. All right, let's get this over with. A video. There we go.
I believe when Trump, everything he campaigned on, I believe he wanted to do. And now he's doing the exact opposite thing.
How should
because
we
he never
respond to
wanted
this?
to do those things, you
So,
moron.
some bro podcasters of the Flagrant podcast, hosted by comedian Andrew Schultz, that backed Trump during the election, now admit that they were duped.
Remember, he only supported Trump because he could say whatever he wants, and he gets pussy and all that. What a bunch of stupid
And
crap.
in fact, are
of
supporting
course they're
democratic
morons.
socialists. So in this video, I want to go over what the hell is going on here, how maybe we should feel about this, conflicting thoughts online about these clips, as well as later on I'll get to a clip from a liberal podcast that is going harder on Democrats than a lot of other
Saw
places
this
are,
earlier.
in a
It
way
was
that I think is
awesome.
fantastic and something that Democrats need to feel more pressure from. But before I get there, let's get to some clips from this Andrew Schultz podcast. So, yeah, these guys back Trump. I don't know how you back Trump and somehow were fooled. How did you not realize the first time?
Yeah, really.
here's the
How do you
first
not
clip where
see
they're
what we
discussing
saw for years
Trump's
now, you idiots?
complete unwillingness to acknowledge the Epstein files now, let alone release them.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? We have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still
Pause.
talking about this guy, this creep?
So we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're the fucking idiots,
Yes,
guys.
you're
That is,
Yeah, you
I
are.
think what is enraging people right now is it's insulting our intelligence. Like, obviously the intelligence community is trying to cover it up.
Ironically, they're literally wearing tinfoil hats.
No intelligence in you. Because you're stupid.
They're wearing tinfoil hats, too.
Obviously, the Trump administration is trying to cover up. Something
Of
changed
course.
because they ran on this idea that
That's
closing
it,
it off.
because they're
Yep, yep.
All
stupid.
these guys had great ideas. Cockeyed Cash, Dan
Son, he had
Bongino.
clips, dog. He had bars.
He was ready to tear it all down. He was ready to tear down the entire FBI office.
Shut down the Hoover building day one.
Day one.
That bitch still standing.
And then he goes on Joe Rogan and he's like, listen, do you think if I had it, I wouldn't share it with you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I do believe that,
do.
100%. Especially when you're staring at me like this, telling me that.
One of two things, in my mind, is it possible. One, you're covering it up. Or two, nothing really happened and you exploited the rape of thousands of children to get your man elected. So which one do you want here?
It really should not have been able to get this far for them to finally begin to realize what is happening. Again, that's if they're even being honest here about their initial thoughts about this entire thing and the fact that they
I
were
just think they're too stupid to even
riding
think
a
of what
wave
they're
as
saying.
opposed to having any real thoughts about what was going on during the election. Because they posted this video online on Twitter with this caption, "So we're the idiots, right?"
Yes.
And
yes,
a lot
you
of
are.
reactions to this. The Vanguard posted, "Yes, because you thought this guy was going to release the Epstein client list." I mean,
Savage.
of
Gavin
images,
Exact.
videos,
Oh my goodness.
write-ups. This is from New York Magazine back in 2002. Jeffrey Epstein, International Money Man of Mystery, where Donald Trump is quoted here. And yet, if you talk to Donald Trump, a different Epstein emerges. Quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy." Trump booms from a speakerphone. "He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his
Dude,
social
you're older than a wrinkle on dirt.
All of this was
Hey, you're as old as Brain Dead Binds. We can make fun of you and call you an old man, too.
these weren't hidden articles. This was republicized. This was images out. Like, this was out there. You didn't have to wait till now to realize Trump's connections to Epstein. So to think that this man had any interest at all at releasing what was in those files, you have to be incredibly stupid. So this gets to how we should feel about these people. Comments like this from Brandon here. For openly and actively taking the word of con men, for barely ever doing basic due diligence just because you like the attention and platforming you got from being fake contrarians. Yes, you're the idiots, they played you. Daryl Owens here. Actually, Trump clocked your intelligence very well. He knew you, Joe Rogan, Theo Von, and other incel podcasters are losers producing content for male losers
Incel
that are easily fooled
podcasters.
and manipulated. Then there's this perspective from PB Gomez. Look, I understand the urge to dunk on guys like this. Trust me, I really do. But it's critical that people like this feel like they can admit a mistake and recant their support for Trump without feeling cornered. I'm of two minds here, because I believe this is true for some people. I think for some people, shame puts them back in the box, and they are unwilling to admit the faults that they made, and or the mistakes that they made, and learn from that. Then there are other people where you have to shame them for them to learn, for them to
Or
wake
you can always
up.
make fun of them no matter
And
what, because it's fun.
Those people often are men,
Job
more
on this
people that try
place,
to
isn't it? Or at least
present
part of
themselves
it.
as confident bros. Because a great recent example of this is a literal punch in the face. This Canadian man got destroyed by a former NHL player. This is, I'm sure most of you by now, at least in my little world, have seen this video where this man's playing golf. He's unwilling to move on from the hole, and he basically just gets belligerent and gets thrown in the pond. And keeps coming back, and basically he's just completely humiliated. So this became massive.
Imagine
meme.
interrupting
Here he
people
is,
trying to play golf.
Nick Tarnowski, oil on canvas. Nick Tarnowski is the NHL player that knocked him down. But
You went
few days
toe to
later,
toe with an
this guy
NHL
came out and
player.
apologized.
What do you think
the
was going to
golfer who
happen?
got tossed into the pond during the slow play altercation has
That's
released
like
an
bugging an
apology
NFL
video.
player.
Played 36 holes of golf. We drank way too much, and my mouth ran faster than my brain. This guy was publicly shamed in the worst way possible, and admits, he was an idiot. He made a mistake. Now, this is a
Maybe
quite
that's
literal
why you
sense of
shouldn't
being
drink
punched in the
either,
face, but
dipshit.
even making fun of guys like this, that
Or you can
somehow
hey, if
again
I
we're
can make
fooled by
fun of
Trump.
myself on here,
I
you should be able to
don't
make fun of
think
yourselves too, you
necessarily
idiots.
is a bad thing.
Exactly.
So yes, while some people
It's
need to
very
be
much how it
babied,
should work.
others, that's not going to work. And in this case, these people discovered this themselves. They didn't have to have somebody on to baby them into realizing what was going on. They found it out themselves. And
Yeah,
if
'cause
they're
Base
now
Bernie had to
actually going
get
to
through
be
their
critical
heads.
of Trump and do it on a
Really?
consistent basis, not just, in random clips that go viral, then awesome. I'm not going to criticize them on that. That's good. That's movement in the right direction. But they're going to get shamed. Even if we say, hey, you shouldn't shame these people, it's going to happen because it was so stupid for them to believe Trump to begin with. This gets to the next clip now.
I believe when Trump, everything he campaigned on, I believe he wanted to do. And now he's doing the exact opposite thing of
I
every
don't
single
Again,
time.
so
know
because you're an
what he's
idiot.
done. Yeah, exactly to your point. If you tell
It's a moron.
We warned you all for years what he was going to do. And he's done exactly what we're saying he was going to do. Because we were right. And you all stupidly fell for his bullshit that I still don't know how you can fall for it. It's so obvious. Like, come on.
I mean, it's easier for me to believe.
Well, it's obvious to us, but it isn't obvious to idiots like them.
You wanted to do all these things if any
Imagine
of them
being
were
dumber
happening
than me.
in the way that you said they
To
were.
that point, like there'll be people that they'll DM me and be like, you see
This
what
is
you
high
see what your
level's
boy did?
dumb.
You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did vote for it. Yeah, you did.
Opposite of everything I voted for.
No, you voted for it. So come.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them.
He was a neocon, you idiot. Do you not remember his first term and all that? He's doing exactly what he did from the first term.
I want him to shrink spending,
He's
reduce the budget.
increasing it.
Republicans don't support that, you moron.
He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do, except sending immigrants back. Everything.
And he's
now
terrible
even
on that,
flip-flopped
too.
on that.
All right, I don't know how he's flip-flopped on the immigrant part. That's the one thing Trump is definitely doing in a way that...
Well, Dole, he actually pissed off Trumpsters last month when he stopped going after, like, farmers and other labor groups that had illegals. And that really pissed off Trumpsters, which was hilarious.
It's surprising a lot of people because it's the
good
vast
to
majority
hear.
of cases, the vast majority, are not criminals, not violent criminals. They're just completely innocent people. You've seen the videos, the disturbing Gestapo-like approach that ICE has taken to trying to deport people. It's really gross. So, you voted for this, idiot. But this gets to the heart of that.
You fuck
clip
around,
here,
you find
where
out.
Brian Tyler Cohen has a really good
Exactly.
breakdown of the people that were conned by Donald Trump.
Fuck around, find out.
Trump promised to
and-
release the Epstein files.
Well, you fucked
and he
around
closed
and
the
now you're
case without
finding
releasing
out,
anything.
and it's good
Trump
to
promised
see
lower costs,
because
launched a
you're
trade
now
war.
having to scramble like the idiot you are.
Instead, that sent costs higher. Trump promised to end the Russia-Ukraine war on day one. It's still raging 6 months later. Trump promised a booming economy. The U.S. is the only industrialized country in the world whose economy is contracting. Trump promised to cut federal spending, signed a budget that will add $4 to $6 trillion to the debt. Trump promised to end tax on Social Security, didn't do it, and lied that he did. If you believed him, you've been conned. And of course, there's more you could add to that. Trump promised he wouldn't cut Medicaid. He's cutting Medicaid.
Again,
Like,
imagine
it
being
goes
dumber
on
than
and on
me,
and on.
people.
Now, you could say, oh, well, people were they were fooled by Donald Trump.
Yeah, sure. It was
He was
so
president
obvious.
before.
You don't have that excuse.
You saw
Sorry.
how full of shit he was before. You've seen his career be
10 years. It's now been 10 years since he first ran for president in 2016, July 2015. 10 years is crap. He's the same person he always was, for God's sake. It was so obvious. Like, come on.
full of shit. You could just watch him in his speech and tell he's full of shit. How
And he sounds like a
focused he is
moron.
on himself. He's the ultimate narcissist.
Always has, always will.
For you to think
You remember how much of a brain-dead retard Biden sounded when he talked? Trump sounds like the exact same thing for 10 years, people. How do you not see it?
this guy cares at all about anything,
He's
like,
falling
you're
apart,
living in a completely
literally.
different
Well,
world.
actually, he's compacting, judging by the
Oh, yeah.
by the blood issue with his legs he's having.
Yeah, there's a medical emergency he had recently that Kyle covered. Didn't get to watch it yet, though.
Yep.
So, shame, in fact, is being too kind. I do not understand how anybody could have been this dumb. Now, it's one thing if you're an individual voter and you don't have a platform.
It's just
you're
them
speaking
being
to
American,
millions
of course.
people who listen to your every word. These people have that platform. When you have a platform like this, you have a responsibility to know what you are talking about when you get into issues that matter. And they never had that. They never thought they had that responsibility or cared to have the responsibility. They never cared to really investigate what they were talking about.
Because they're idiots.
Clearly now, things have shifted a little bit. They had on Bernie Sanders about a month ago. They've had on, guests that live in reality.
And of course, we all know damn well, in a few years from now, they're not going to learn their lesson. They're going to become stupid Trumpsters in 2028 and all that.
In a way that Trump supporters do not. So hopefully things are changing.
Well, of
and
course.
the audience, which I
They're
have to
probably
imagine,
they're
is
probably because they're
largely,
paid by Peter Thiel.
True. Or the Russian Nazi state.
quasi-political, apolitical,
both.
maybe pay somewhat close attention, but not too close. Because if they did, they'd probably stop listening to the podcast. But that kind of audience is incredibly malleable, which is why it's even more important for a podcast like this.
Imagine
to
being
know
that
what they're
malleable,
talking
not
about.
having any sort of position,
Now,
unlike us for years and years and
I just
years
saw
and
this
years
and
and
I
years.
I have to share a
Because
stupid.
we actually believe what we
This is the New
say.
York Times.
Hey,
This is from a piece in.
Vibe-based voters are cringe.
I want to get the date proper. June 21st, 2025. This is a recent piece. Andrew Schultz, podcast bro, might be America's foremost political journalist.
Yeah, sure.
Like, this is the same place. I believe it's the same place. It's either them or the Washington Post that did a whole piece on Ben Shapiro being the cool kids philosopher. I think that was back in 2017. Like, just
Nothing
these
cool
people
about
who
Benny
are
Boy either.
so
yeah.
out
Too
in their
busy
own
crying
world.
about his wife's a doctor.
Do not care about reality. Do not have a principled basis of human rights, of workers' rights. Being called political journalist is must be disturbing to actual political journalists. I wouldn't even call myself a journalist. I'm a commentator. So to try and claim he is a journalist is insulting to anyone that actually works for a living. So I gotta play this.
The only party right now that to me seems America first is the Democrat Socialist Party.
Yep.
Bernie is America first. Mamdani and all his ideas that he will not be able to execute, and I frankly think many of them are not good ideas, but he is no doubt New York first. The policies seem to want
That's
to
nice.
have people
Are you going to
here.
believe that in the future?
That's
though?
what I care about.
I have doubts.
If MAGA wants to
of
take
course
this
you
America
won't.
First thing back, they got to start looking out for America, and it doesn't seem like they're doing. Lying to Americans is not America
Whereas
First.
my
There's
views are
one
mostly
lie,
the same since I
which
was
is
13.
Epstein did not have a
Nice.
blackmail ring on all these very influential people, and by saying that
Because
didn't
you
happen,
guys
have to tell a
sounded
lot
so
of other
insane
little
with your
lies. Every
homophobia
one
back
of
in the
them just pulls a
2000s
little
and dealing with
piece of
Bush
bread
that made me
away
a
from
permanent
the fact.
progressive.
And we're starting to see right through
Based.
right now, and it's just embarrassing.
Now, I think it's important to note that these people are as malleable as their audiences are. We've seen
Which
it
is
with
really
Joe
sad
Rogan,
and
we've seen it with
pathetic.
Theo Vaughn. They can change with the wind, change with the vibes, change with the guests they have on in front of them.
I
It's
will
great
never
they're
get
saying
you
this
people
now.
like
It's
this.
great
I will
they're
never get
recognizing
it.
in this clip.
Neither
Hey,
will
the
yeah,
actual
neither of us
future-
will.
or the way forward
How
is
do you
through.
fall for this crap? You should be able to have consistent political beliefs and stick with them, not go by the wind and all that.
What Bernie Sanders is doing,
I
through
can't
what
take
Zoran
you
Mamdani is
seriously.
doing, through what the Democratic Social like AOC are doing. This is the way forward. For them to acknowledge this and acknowledge that Trump is full of shit, that's great. Is this going to stay
No,
consistent?
I don't think so.
Are they going to be
Definitely
saying this
not.
next week, in a month, in 2 months, in a year, or are they going to be
You
shifting
can't
with
trust
the wind?
people voting on vibes.
Which is why
They're
I think it's
they're
important
too malleable. They're
to
too
remind
stupid.
them
And it's pretty
how
sad.
stupid they should feel if they're going to back Donald Trump again. But this gets to the last clip I want to share. This is from the liberal podcast, I've Had It podcast, with Jennifer Welch and Angie Pumps Sullivan. So
Hey,
they are
progressive
doing more
waifus, let's
with
go!
their platform than I'm seeing networks do, than I'm seeing
They
the
sound like
vast majority
Boonco
of
from My
podcasts
Blossom in
that,
Summer.
lean left do, where they are directly
It's good.
calling out politicians. And keeping in mind, they have had on
Since Ika's way too nice to
Democratic
be like these
Congress people.
two.
They had on Hakeem Jeffries recently, and then she went on to criticize Hakeem Jeffries. This clip isn't even about that, but I could have brought that one up too. This is about targeting politicians who are unwilling to support Zoran Mamdani because, at least
Vote for no matter what, remember?
and I'm going to get to a real-world example of how this has already had an impact.
And if your kids in Israel want to go to a higher education, guess what? They don't have to go in debt because it's subsidized by us, by these politicians. Let's do roll call. Let's put them up. Let's call them out. Let's go. New York Democrats who haven't endorsed Mamdani and their AIPAC bag. Let's go. Representative Laura Gillen, $94,905. Representative Adriano Espiala,
Israeli
I'm
assets that
butchering
should be
his last
kicked out
name,
along with
$202,000. Representative Tom Swazi,
And take your Turkish
$312,000.
asset, Eric Abs, with you
Representative Dan
too.
Goldman, $366,000. Representative Gregory Meeks,
Empire away as well.
$690,000. Representative Grace
Every
Mean,
single one of these are not actual
$619,000.
Democrats.
Senator
Only pathetic
Kirsten
losers.
Gillibrand, almost $1 million, coming in at
No base dem ever supports Israel's
$997,000.
genocide
I
of the
remind you that
Palestinians.
she engaged in Islamophobic
Exactly.
attacks on this mayoral candidate and didn't defend Islamophobia.
Imagine
yet
getting
is
$1
so
million
quick
from iPad.
to call
How
out
much of a
anybody
sad
as being
pussy you have to be?
anti-Semitic. And that's the thing in this, is that
Someone who
we
supports
can
him.
speak out against the provocations and the war crimes
Because-
of the
because
Israeli
he's
government.
a corrupt
And
idiot.
they don't get to hold us
No, they're
hostage and tell us we're
Zio-Nazis.
anti-Semitic.
That's
That's
the
bullshit.
Nazi
Don't fall into that
terrorists.
trap. Next up,
Oh,
Representative
Richie Torres. Oh, you smug motherfucker.
Senator
Schumer.
Chuck Schumer,
Get out of my
$1.7 million.
Oh,
Hakeem
great. Hakeem
Jeffries,
Jeffries. Now, please get these people out of my face. Thank
Representative
you.
George Latimer, $19
$19
million,
million
almost
from
$20
IPAC.
million.
How?
What do you think about all this?
Just
I think you
declare
can't
they're
serve two
Israeli
masters.
citizens.
You cannot take
How about we deport you with elongated Musgrave?
money from a group
First of all,
and
Israel.
then be completely neutral.
Apparently they
as
love the
to
billionaire
other
here.
members of different groups. And if you're going to take that much money from somebody, they're expecting you to further their interests.
I love this so much, and it apparently, potentially, has already had an impact, because just a few days later, the name that she couldn't pronounce there, Representative Espiat of New York, which I think I'm saying it right. I'm not even sure. But he backed Zoran after being called out for not backing him.
Hey, being
Now,
shamed
we
in
can't say
base
directly it was
position.
because
Let's
of
go.
that podcast, but there was pressure put on him.
Like
for
every
some
Democrat
reason.
in New York should be doing.
Uh,
You vote
otherwise
blue
he
in New
wouldn't
York,
have done the
New
endorsement.
York City's mayor election, no
So,
matter what,
very
people.
cool to
Remember?
see
Hey,
that
you all do that to
reaction
us.
there.
Now it's our
This
turn to
is
do
the
it.
power
You vote for
of these sorts
Mamdani,
of
no
podcasts
matter
like
what.
this.
You understand me?
Podcasts
And
that
we're going to
reach
get
more
to
of a,
the election come up
say,
again in a
normie
moment.
Audience, people that may not
Yep,
pay all
pretty
that close
much.
attention to the policies and what is going on politically, but to have a group of informed people like this I've Had It podcast, these two ladies here, and inform their audience about what is going on. This is how you move people in the right direction.
You viciously make fun of them. So yeah, what do you guys say about that? About Andrew Schultz saying that he got duped by Trump, and of course we all know he's going to change immediately to being pro-Trump again very soon because he's a sad loser.
Because he's a grifter.
Yep, sad.
Andrew Grifter, is that any surprise?
Yep, I swear, all you Vibe-based voters, I will never understand you. I will never get. When you hear what people say and their policies, that's all that should matter. Nothing else. Like, I can't remember who it was on Reddit or YouTube. Someone said best. Politics are supposed to be boring. Exactly. Just focus on the issues and nothing else. Alright, so now that's out of the way, on to the next topic.
That is parental style tests.
Yeah, I posted a link too. It's from Psychology Today. It's a very short questionnaire on what you would do if you're parents. That'd be kind of interesting to hear what we do for once. Since we've done a whole bunch of tests before, how about we do another one? Because there's four types of parents styles in the world: authoritarian, authoritative, permissive, and passive, and all that. Wouldn't it be interesting to see where we align on that? So, are you ready for the test?
Sure.
So, yeah, it's 20 questions. I've already done it before. It's only going to be like a few minutes. So, are you ready to start?
Yes.
So, the first question. When my child has a tantrum, I usually give them what they want. No, I disagree on that one. What about you?
Disagree.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get what you want when you act like a baby. You have to behave and all that. Alright, next one. I don't allow my child to interrupt me when I'm speaking. Yeah, I agree. They need to learn discipline and all that, and let people speak in and have their turn.
They do need to understand to wait their turn.
And manners and such. Alright, number 3. My child does not get whatever they ask for. I agree that they're not going to get everything they ask for. Depends on what it is and how they act.
That wouldn't be a strong agree, though. That'd be just a regular agree, right?
Yep, just agree and disagree. So it sounds like we're agreeing on every single thing so far. Alright, number 4. I feel confident about setting rules for my child. Yeah, I would agree. Shouldn't be too hard to set rules and all that. Now, will they behave and listen is another hand. Alright, number 5. Children should be praised only when they put forth their best efforts. Actually, I would disagree with that, because sometimes they should get praised even if they don't always put their best effort up. Who knows? You can't determine necessarily if it's their best effort or not. If they try to do good, regardless if they fail necessarily, they should still get praised for doing like the right thing and whatever.
Having a go. Because that's how you learn things. So that's how kids learn things like resilience.
Yep, you keep trying. All right, number 6. My kids have clear limits on their screen time. No.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
What'd you say?
I'd say yeah.
Beforehand, until like the last year or so, I would say no, I don't care. But lately, I think I kind of would agree. Yeah, there should be some sort of limit, or at least what they look at more than necessarily screen time. Because I definitely don't want, like, I don't think...
I think if there'd be, I think probably if anything, I'll be trying to, I'd probably have a lot of that screen time where I'd be there as well.
Mm-hmm. And making sure what they watch and all that. Alright, next up, I want my child to speak up if they have questions about the rules. Absolute yes. Strongly agree. Always question authority, even when we give you the rules and all that. Always question, and we explain the meaning of it. Number 8. I know the names of most of my child's friends. Well, we can't answer that yet because that's not happened, but I would hope I would agree with that we should know any kids' friends. Yeah, I would hope so. Number 9. I explain to my children why we have certain household rules. Absolutely, you must explain them. You must give the rules, and you must explain why. And you must answer their questions why they might think they're stupid and explain why they're actually important. Number 10. I trust my child to make the right choices without any help from me. That's a tough one.
Very, that is very aid dependent.
I think I might have to be in the middle on that one. Because that one's like really out of our control, unfortunately.
And also like really age dependent.
Yep. Number 11. I'm comfortable saying no to my child. Absolutely. Yep. Especially if they're acting like pieces of shit. They need to be put in their place and all that.
Yep.
Number 12. When I tell my child they will be punished, I follow through. Yep, exactly. Gotta face punishment if you do something bad and all that. Number 13. I will not bribe my child to get them to do what I want. Depend on the circumstances. I actually would probably disagree.
That was another one where it'd really depend on the circumstances.
I actually, depend on the circumstances, I might actually consider bribing them with something to behave. It's all dependent.
Yeah.
All right,
So that's probably an unsure.
I'm more to disagree. Number 14. It's important to set firm boundaries with a child. Yep, absolutely. They must learn rules and discipline and all that. Number 15. There are more important things than my child always being happy. I think I would somewhat agree with that, because they might need to learn things that would make them unhappy and all that. Unfortunately for them. Number 16. I am my child's parent, not their friend. I think I kind of disagree with that, because I don't like the way it sounds.
Yeah,
they are friends.
That as well. Because that can help with ensuring that people sure you have a good relationship with them when you get older.
Hey, we would both be their parents and their friends. All right, number 17. I encourage my child to express themselves even when they disagree with me. Yep. Like I said, we give out rules, but again, you have to always challenge authority, even us. And then we explain our reasons. It goes both ways. Number 18, I talk to my child about the consequences of their actions. Yep, absolutely. Must explain what would happen if they do something bad, and they must understand it. Number 19, I worry that if I discipline my child too much, they won't like me. Maybe they might not like you, but will they always hate you forever? Probably not. So I think I would probably disagree. I probably wouldn't worry too much. What about you?
I'd say similar, yeah.
All right, the last one. It's important to me that my child learns to be independent. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, let's see. Are we authoritarian, authoritative, passive, or permissive? This is the second time I've done it. Wait, did it... Ah! It made me doing the thing again. What the fuck? Did it do the test for you correctly? Because I did this test before. I
tried it.
Did it work? Did it tell you that what your score was?
Nope. I actually haven't tried it yet, so...
Well, it sounds like we mostly said the exact same things. Because I've done this before, and it put me like right in the middle between authoritative and permissive. So
sounds about right.
So basically, we'd be like both. We would be strict and fair at the same time. I see myself being like extremes on both ends. On some hands, I would probably be very controlling on that, but then there are other times I'd be like, do whatever you want, I don't care, and all that. And studies, because I actually was curious to look this up, I looked up some studies recently on this, and apparently authoritative is considered usually like the best parental method. So, sounds like we're on the right path and all that. It's funny because in a lot of ways we sound like conservative stereotypes in this regard, don't we? About like discipline and such. So yeah, that was very fun doing it again, even though it did not give us our score and all that. But yeah, we had to say about that.
Interesting.
Yep, we'd both be authoritative, permissive parents. Ain't that interesting? In between. Like base parents should be. Alright. Hey, you know what? Where would you say... I wonder how we should compare our parents on this ranking. What would you say your parents would be on the scale?
I think I'd probably say my dad's a little bit my dad's a bit more permissive than my parents are a bit more on the permissive side than on the authoritative side.
My mom is absolutely hardcore passive. She like didn't give really a single shit what I did. My dad was less, but they probably were more on the permissive side. Sounds like we'd be more strict than them. Oh, that was fun talking about. So now I guess on to the next topic.
Ex-Best Andrew Cuomo still rigging the New York City mayor elections.
Ah, this is hilarious. So, of course, we're continuing on from the New York City Democratic primary coverage that happened last episode, where Cuomo, of course, ran for Democratic nomination for mayor, and, of course, he lost to Mondami.
Lost!
Yep. And, to, I guess, my no surprise, he's actually running as an independent for mayor, the New York City mayor in the general, which is hilarious because there already is an independent running, the current incumbent Adams, and of course there's a Republican running too. So effectively, it's free against Mondami. So they're splitting the vote. Let's go, Cuomo.
Please sabotage yourself, each other, you three.
Yep, and help
Please
Mondami. Thank you. So yeah, it's. On the one hand, we absolutely 100% support it because it will help Mondami win. So thank you in that regard because it's an absolutely horrendously terrible idea you're doing, Cuomo. If any of you want to stop Mondami, Cuomo, don't run. Get the Republican candidate to drop out to you. All of you back Adams and then hope for the best because that's the only chance you have. All you're doing is splitting the vote and helping Mondami win in a blowout. But hey,
part of me is expecting them to do it at some point. As part of rigging it, remember?
Yep. But hey, right now, keep coming in more moderate people. Help Mondami win. That's very base.
Getting the vote from the right.
Yep. So yeah, let's watch Base Dylan Burns cover this since he had the shortest video of everyone.
We have an announcement. So Andrew Cuomo has announced that despite losing the Democratic primary.
Oh yeah. How haven't you noticed it, people? Like we mentioned before, that corporate Democrats always tell us progressives we have to vote blue no matter what and all that. But the moment that they lose, now all of a sudden they do every single thing in the book to stop us, except for vote blue no matter what. Shows how much of a double standard there is.
Of course. Remember, they're enablers of fascism, so that's why they say that. Because they suffer from most of the same mental deficiencies that the fascists do.
Imagine being so anti-Mondami that you have to either vote for a Republican, a sexual predator, or a Turkish asset. Like, couldn't you just vote for Mondami like base people would? Like, come on, it's not hard.
He is now going to run as an independent in the general campaign against the Democratic Party nominee, him, Mondami, and Eric Adams.
And the Republican candidate, too. It's free against one, effectively.
And of course, Silva, the Republican nominee. Those are the general election candidates.
Again.
Andrew Cuomo.
Oh my God, too. Cuomo, when he did announced he was going to run for mayor still, he did a horrendously terrible ad if you didn't see it, did you?
They don't care about it. He's stupid, so...
And a sexual predator.
Yep.
So be happy you don't have to see it again like I am right now.
That the Democratic primary did not go the way I had hoped.
Yeah, because you're a sexual predator. Why should you even be running the party, pal? How about you get out?
Thank you. Thank you for believing in me, in my agenda, and in my
your agenda of being a sexual predator to women?
Sorry that I let you down.
Yeah, you do let us down all the time, because we don't like sexual predators in our party, unlike Republicans. Hey, how about you go be a Republican instead? They love sexual predators over there, especially for kids.
And get in the game, and that is what
how long's the list? It's like
it's infinite. It's infinite. What are you talking about?
The general election is in November, and I am in it to win it. My opponent, Mr. Mondani, offers slick slogans, but no real solutions.
No solution! Cuomo, we know your solution, and that is to try and rape every single woman you can get your hands on.
We need a city with lower rent, safer streets, where buying your first home is once again possible.
Should get on the sex offenders ticket.
That's the New York City.
Because remember, Bill O'Reilly They had to fire Bill O'Reilly after they learned he had sexually harassed every single woman that worked at Fox News.
Hey, just like when they had...
I'm not joking.
Hey, just like when Andrew Cuomo had to resign as New York governor because he was such a sex pest he was about to get impeached.
That's the one that is still...
Listen to how he's taking on the affordability language of Mondami's campaign. Mondami has completely redefined what the campaign's talking about.
...is once again possible, where childcare won't...
Don't be near that girl, Cuomo.
That's the one that is...
And stop being near women, too.
You haven't given...
I'm surprised you haven't broke them yet.
And you deserve a mayor with the experience and ideas to make it happen.
The experience of raping women.
The guts to take on anyone who stands in the way. Every day I'm going to be hitting the streets, meeting you where you are, to hear
and raping you with no consent.
Problems and solutions. Because for the next few months...
Oh my God, he can't stop touching women. Ugh.
So let's do this.
God, this is getting worse and worse.
One Democrat nominee,
Stop it.
two
Get some help.
Republican nominee.
Like Michael Jordan said.
You know, this might be the best opportunity for a Republican to win
Jordan's
the
advice.
New York City mayoral race of the century. And I don't think they're going to get another one anytime soon with this good odds. The only problem is the Republican nominee is Silwa, the dude with
and his picture of the Republican candidate looks like he's a general from Eastern Europe. I'm not kidding. Take a look at his picture on Wikipedia. Look at his picture.
God.
Look up New York mayor's 2025 election at the Republican candidate. He looks like he's a general from Eastern Europe. I'm not joking. Go look up right now.
He's a cat dad. I can relate to him.
That's what I'm gonna do.
To be honest with you guys, his odds of winning over enough.
Oh God, he does.
Is basically nil.
He looks like he belonged in the Russian Nazi state, doesn't he?
I give it a 5% because again, we now have the Democratic Party vote split three ways. The current incumbent mayor is Eric Adams.
Democrats in New York hate Adams, though, so they're not going to vote for him. He's not even the party anymore.
He has tremendously low approval ratings.
And he's a Turkish
has
asset.
A corruption scandal for him being paid off by the Turks to overlook safety violations in building code.
Imagine being bribed by a Turkish Nazi state, too.
And he got rewarded.
Shake my head.
Free flights and tourism in Turkey. He chose
a Turkish Nazi state, remember? The Neo-Ottoman Empire.
I'm a man that serves the interests of Americans and primarily New Yorkers.
I don't want to hear no crap about you all crying about Mondami being pro-Palestinian when you all have a mayor that's a Turkish asset. I don't want to hear
As
it.
the mayor of New York,
someone who's a member of the Neo-Ottoman Empire.
Remember how Eric Adams kept calling New York the Istanbul of America? Yeah.
New York, the Istanbul of America.
Ukraine is the #1 enemy.
Xenophobic much? Islamophobic much?
Someone was counting
Yeah,
that check.
of course.
So,
that's because they just show more of him being a member of the Neo-Ottoman Empire if he wants to make New York part of it.
Again, the same people that keep saying Mondami would allow 9/11 or something really Islamophobic excuses and all that crap.
Incredibly unpopular incumbent with a corruption.
They're more likely to let 9/11 happen
because they want to blame Muslims.
Cuomo has 13 accusers.
So then they can start bombing, so then they can let off a nuclear bomb in fucking Iran or something.
Oh, Dylan, you know it. Cuomo's accusers aren't 13. It's probably a million more than that.
Damaged goods, to put it like
that. Dude, by existing, he has sexually harassed every single woman on the planet by existing.
There's a reason why he was not impeached. There was a reason why he resigned as New York governor, people. He is that much of a sexual predator. He needs to be kicked out of office. Not of office. He needs to not be in politics, period.
He's also going from government.
It's bad enough, like I said before. If I was in New York City, I would vote for Mondami, not because of his policies, but to keep that sex pest out.
Ownership to New York.
Exactly.
That's the first goal in my mind.
To get back into the political fray. But also, as somebody who is such a well-known face within the party, that gives him a sort of name ID advantage that in many races would probably, and maybe if Mondami didn't run, probably could have gotten him over the finish line, but him having checked out of politics due to those scandals, the presence of that scandal, and the fact that just due to his presence within Democratic Party in New York City politics and his time as mayor, including the nursing home scandal, it made it so he became a sort of representation for the status quo, as well as a representation for the nursing home and
a sex
scandal
pest
with 13 accusers, with his excuse being, hey, I'm Italian. I mean, come on, I'm Italian.
Racism against Italians, much, Cuomo?
It wasn't a great day for.
Are you trying to say Italians can't? Or he's trying. Are you implying that Italians are misogynistic by genetics? Damn,
Jesus.
damn.
What you're saying, dude.
Oh my goodness! Italians are misogynistic. Wow.
Particularly great in recent years when it comes to their PR.
You like hearing that, Italian Americans?
And then you've got Mondami.
You're all misogynistic by default.
So you're splitting the vote in such a way now that I actually think that Mondami might.
Hey, are you happy your prime minister is a misogynist too? Then.
Think about it this way. You've got Eric Adams, the incumbent mayor who ran and originally got elected as a Democrat, who is now
thinks he's better than Dotton.
Independent to be re-elected with no chance of winning, but he's going to get some of the vote. I imagine that some people in the city support him. I see him have press conferences, and he's like backed up by like half the church choir.
Again, imagine supporting a Turkish asset or a sex pest over Mondami.
So
That's how sad you have to be.
For him,
but hey, stay in here, split the vote, and make Mondami more likely to win. Please do that. We would greatly appreciate your efforts.
You've got Andrew Cuomo. He did 20-something%.
Also, be glad you're not looking at the VOC and ugly Cuomo's face. Just imagine him touching a woman again. Ugh.
Well, clearly curb stomped him. But if you wanted to beat Mondami, when he has the momentum and now name ID he has, when he has the vision of a bold future where he's putting out bold ideas, whether the rent freeze will work or not, isn't really the question. The question is he's offering something that is a solution that is different. He comes off as authentic. He isn't tied to the status quo. And he's offering a positive vision for change. And has plenty of ammunition to go after the other candidates, whether it be Eric Adams' record from this term, Eric Adams' corruption,
Cuomo's sexual predatorship,
the nursing home scandal, even though he hasn't particularly concentrated on that, or Cuomo's time as governor, where Mondami, outside of social media posts, which might be problematic, or him shouting out hammer and sickles, or him shouting out the uncommitted stuff, none of that stuck enough to stop him. None of that
because Mondami's based. Deal with it, people.
Any TED talk about
and maybe don't pick sexual predators or Turkish assets as your opponents.
And long-term housing quality. You're going to have to do a lot of legwork there in the next few months to make voters care about that. Especially when Mondami has also shown a willingness and openness when he was being questioned by the Bulwark, by Tim Miller of the Bulwark, on what you would do, with these public grocery stores. When he was asked, about his idea to have a public grocery store in every single one of the 5 boroughs, he responded, look, if it doesn't work, and we'll stop doing it. And having that amount of flexibility, not being grabbing it and saying, no, I'm sure it'll work and it will 100% work, and if it does, having that sort of flexibility, there's no reason it couldn't give flexibility on other issues. It would be harder on the rent freeze due to how much has been a present issue on his campaign, and there's going to be a reckoning if he wins when it comes to the rent freeze, whether he goes through with it or not, if he goes through with it for the effects of it, and if he doesn't go through with it when it comes to him not delivering on his promises. But right now, Mondami has the momentum. So if you want to stop someone with momentum, you've got to unite the forces against that momentum.
But thankfully, they're not doing that.
Fox News, one of the Fox News hosts, hey, do you want to do coalesce together with the other candidates to make an anti-Mondami coalition? And he said no. The Republican candidate said no.
Thank you. Please keep doing that. Thank you.
Republican, you're not voting for Mondami or you're not voting for, of course you're not voting for Mondami, but you're not voting for Eric Adams and you're not voting for Andrew Cuomo. So that leaves it already divided. But then with Andrew Cuomo throwing himself in the race, maybe people think because he doesn't have as low of a approval rating as Eric Adams that he has a better chance, but him running with Eric Adams in the race, taking votes away from him,
and vice versa.
that hurts him.
And taking away votes
That
from
hurts
Republican
him.
too. Again, you're all
And
fucking
so
over
I
each other and
think
helping
that
Mondami win.
with Eric
Again,
Adams
thank
still in
you.
the race,
You're doing the
Andrew
wrong
Cuomo
thing,
has a
but I
long
appreciate
shot
it.
governor
Keep
race.
doing it.
The question is going to be whether or not the scare, the fear factor from the boys on Wall Street up there in New York, or other billionaires having the richest city in the world. I mean, I don't know if it's the richest city in the world, but you know, the richest city in the United States, controlled by a socialist, a democratic socialist, but a socialist nonetheless, is going to be so scary that they double down and triple down on their Democratic primary strategy, which is big money, big money, big money, big money. I could see them thinking, look, if we didn't succeed the first time, we just need to drown the airwaves with anti-Mondami ads on the radio,
Incitement of violence,
ads on the TV,
Islamophobia,
mailers sent out to every home, and we tried to do our best to get that cause, that momentum stopped. Maybe we could see that, but the odds right now are still in Mondami's corner, despite Cuomo throwing his hat in the ring. He's more popular than Eric Adams.
Oh yeah, I just looked this up on Twitter because I was really curious here. Remember that story about Trump suing the Wall Street Journal about the Epstein stuff?
Yeah.
Guess how much he wants?
How much?
$10 billion.
But he still has to deal with the Eric Adams.
Not even going to get anywhere near that.
Cuomo to the moon. I think his chances are low. And even then, big money didn't win him the first round.
Oh, so beautiful. So yeah, what you gotta say about that? Sex pest Andrew Cuomo run as an independent and splitting the vote for Adams and the Republican candidate to help Mondami win. Let's go.
It'd be so good if that happened. That would be so good and so funny.
Please keep doing that. In fact, more Indies and Republicans, please get on here. Just make it more likely Mondami wins. Please keep going. Help base Mondami win. Fucking idiots. Alright, now with that funny crap out of the way, on to the next topic.
Is Trump doing a 180 on Ukraine?
In a potential maybe.
I'm going to mention on this one.
What?
So I remember that at one point, shortly after the election, I don't remember who it was, but I saw a post that said that predicted Trump would start out being very pro-Putin, and then Putin will piss him off more and more and more, and then at one point he's going to flip and go all in on supporting Ukraine.
Yep, I think I remember you bringing that up. So, of course, the last, week or so, it seems Trump might finally have flipped and might become in pro-Ukraine for once. And a whole bunch of things. Like, recently, I saw this too on one of the geopolitical Twitter people I follow. Trump just told Zelensky recently he could do almost whatever he wants now, like attacking Russia and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing. And also gave Putin like a 2-month ultimatum. If he doesn't peace out or do a ceasefire immediately, he's gonna do a massive funding effort for Ukraine, which by the way, just recently he did his first sign off on weapons to Ukraine. The first time he's done that. All the weapons beforehand they were getting that was all buying stuff. And just recently he did a deal with NATO allies where they buy $10 billion worth of weapons from America and then they give it to Ukraine instead of, just give it to Ukraine directly. So it will appease the isolationists and the Republicans. So Trump seems to finally starting to do a 180, which should have done that from the very start and all that. But hey, if you do something good, I'll give you credit for it and all that. Even though I still don't trust you. Even though I still don't trust you.
Yeah, but there's no trusters, of course.
So anyways, I think this is the first time we're going to be watching this YouTuber by the name of... Come on, YouTube. Because I've been watching... Preston Stewart, there we go. I've been watching him, started watching when the Iran-Israel war started. He seems pretty damn good on geopolitical stuff, so I would probably recommend watch him. No idea what his politics are, but he seemed pretty damn objective on it. So let's watch what he says.
What if I told you that supporting Ukraine was the most popular policy in the United States right now? It's wild to think that might be where we are in July 2025, but this is coming from a recent Echelon Insights poll where they asked these questions of American voters after President Trump made the decision to send additional military aid to Ukraine, or sell it specifically to our European allies to give to Ukraine. Now, the way they asked this question, notably of two different groups. The first group, they said, do you support or oppose continuing to give weapons to Ukraine for the conflict with Russia? When that group was asked, 55% overall said they support it. They then asked a second group of people, do you support or oppose Donald Trump's decision to continue giving weapons to Ukraine for the conflict with Russia?
So this poll, the first question was, do you support giving weapons to Ukraine whatsoever? And then after that, the question is, do you support if Trump does it? So at the start, 55% of Americans in this poll support giving weapons to Ukraine. 48% of Republicans support, which is very unbased. 49% of independents support, which is still not really
surprising considering how many of them are Russian assets.
Yep. It's actually the plurality majority. And same goes for independents, 49%. 64% of Dems, however, support it. So, good and all that. Now, when it's pointed out that Trump supports it, then it gets very interesting. So, when they ask if Trump supports it, support goes from 55% to 62%. So it actually went up, surprisingly. And among Republicans, this is important, support for Republicans went up from 48% to 67%.
Wow.
Independents go from 49 to 54%. And then, this is really sad, Democratic support went from 64 to 62. Oh my God.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Really? I know, I'm a fellow Democrat. We hate Trump, yes. We can't trust him and all that. I agree. He sucks and all that. But if he does the right thing, you got to support him and all that. You can't just not want to support Ukraine because Trump wants it. Like, you're being silly. Like, come on. He finally seems to be changing. He should get praise.
As bad as the MAGA people.
Oh my God. Like, seriously.
Do you support this policy to do you support President Trump's decision to support this policy? Essentially being told that Trump already made this decision. Now is it good? Now is it bad? How do you feel? And that 55% support went up to 62%, which is pretty significant, no doubt. But if you run down this slide, you'll see that in the GOP, that's the Republican Party here in the United States, they went from 48% support to 67. 48 to 67% support. Now there's also...
Why is it that Trump has to flip on this for you to change? Why couldn't you just be on the base?
Because it's a religion.
True.
Because it's a religion, that's why.
And we're not cultist thugs like all of you. Like, you should support the right position because it's the right position, not because someone says it.
So some other changes that are notable here. You'll see that it's not just popular now amongst Trump supporters, it's also a popular independent subject. The independent voters there went from 49% support to...
And honestly, I'm kind of surprised it actually went up a lot. I had a feeling it would go up with Republicans, of course, but even independents and overall went up. Dems going down. That's still kind of surprising.
54% support. And concerningly, unfortunately, in the Democratic voters here...
that's embarrassing.
Their support
is embarrassing. How did you lose support?
In a minute,
that's
when
pretty
you're talking
bad.
about just pure partisan
that's
politics around
unacceptable,
issues.
Democrats. I'm sorry.
That's one aspect of this. These Democrats in this survey supported this more before Trump got on board. That's not a good thing.
That's
especially
pathetic.
in this case where
I
personally
that's
I think
just
sending
bad.
more aid
That's
to
very
Ukraine is a
bad.
net benefit, not just for Ukraine but for NATO.
The
and
fact
the
that Republicans
States.
all of a sudden
Now,
got more
when I
right
say
on
this
this
is
than you, that's
arguably the
very
most
sad.
Popular position in the United States right now. I went through a bunch of other polls to find out. I mean, 62% support of anything is hard to find, right?
Literally, just saying Trump supports this makes Republicans more pro-Ukraine than Democrats. That is just embarrassing.
We tend to be a 50-50 country on a lot of things these days. I found a new Economist poll that shows of the different issues with President Trump, immigration is his strongest, with 45%
Trump's
approval.
pulling terrible on
But even that
immigration
had
now.
51% against. So look,
Because he
find any
sucks
polls
ass
you
on
want,
people.
Right? I don't know, people will say the Economist one is bad, or Ipsos is bad, or Echelon
Also
Insights is bad, whatever it is.
stupid
62%
moron.
is very hard to find unless you have a very, very, very heavily biased kind of captured group.
See,
So
that one poll that was just covered, it asked what Americans' approval of Trump on issues, and every single one of them he's bad on. Even immigration, like his best policy in their Americans' eyes, he's doing bad at.
You have a
Told
very,
y'all he
very,
sucks
very
ass.
heavily biased kind of captured group. So to get 62% across the aisle in support of this policy is pretty significant. And I hope that this number, this stat, this data makes its way to our lawmakers to where they can see that pushing this forward, be it the sanctions bill or additional arms packages for Ukraine or beefing up our support for NATO and maybe troop presence in Eastern Europe, is popular. The overall topic of supporting Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression and helping Ukraine to defend themselves against the Russian invasion is a popular...
Yeah, it was really important.
And to scare away Chinese aggression.
Supported topic.
Get China
here in the
away
United
from
States,
Taiwan.
more than just about anything else. So every other subject you can line up along partisan lines. Now, in this case, I do like the fact that we're seeing an overall shift in a direction that I think is a net positive, but I'm not
fucking
so
time.
naive.
But remember, this is Trump, people. Even if he's on the right side, you can never, ever, ever trust him. Never. Always be cautious.
To miss the negatives here, right?
But
If
don't be like the
President Trump
Democrats
decides
poll
he's
all of
on
a sudden
board
be
with this
anti-Ukraine.
today,
Fuck you.
And his
Yeah,
significant
that's
portion of his
that's
base
embarrassing.
Right on board and says,
So
"Great,
embarrassing.
We're there with you."
Another case
That
of them
can
being
go the other
enablers
direction.
of fascism.
That is literal Trump derangement syndrome. I'm sorry.
As well. And again,
that
I do
is.
want to call out a big problem here that we see support actually fall.
Even my mom, who has
amongst
Trump
Democrats
derangement
the minute
syndrome,
that
wouldn't go
President
that
Trump
far.
Is on
That's
board
pretty
with this
sad.
specific policy, but nonetheless, I don't think I've ever seen. I think the last time I saw something like this was asking people their views.
Oh yes, of course. When Trump did that stupid, horrible meeting with Zelensky back in February, when Republicans massively hated Zelensky afterwards, and Dems massively support him afterwards. Yeah, that was very infuriating.
Before and after the blow up in the White House,
That's
where we
when
saw
he just
amongst Republican
did
voters, they
the
went from,
conspiracy
yeah, the
theories
guy's
of
fine
that
to,
people
we
like
hate him,
Harry
he's one of the
believe
worst
that
people
all
ever. I'll see if I can
Ukrainians are
find that graphic,
Nazis
throw it
and
up there as well,
therefore
but it was the same thing.
regarding them
Just
as
the
base,
minute
and that Russia
a
is
decision
not
is
doing
made,
imperialism because it's
you
only
tend to see a
imperialism
large
when
number
an
of
illegitimate
President
Western
Trump's base
terrorist
move in that
organization
direction.
does
So
it.
for now, we'll write it. Maybe more Patriots, more HIMARS coming to Ukraine. Now, I did want to show another movie trailer. I know I did this just last week with a movie that's going to be aired in, 2,000 meters to Andriivka. It's going to be airing in New York City here next week. I'm heading out, of course, the last couple of years. So, again, you can buy a ticket. You don't have to go anywhere to see this. Just buy a ticket, pull it up on your computer. My plan, I have not watched it yet. My plan is to watch it.
And then after this, he actually shows the updates to the front lines we haven't covered in a while.
Next week or in 2 weeks for the Andriivka film. Now, we did start to get some news in recent days. Surprisingly, I wasn't really following this, but CNN reported that Russia is putting together some sort of large-scale offensive that they're going to try to kick off before President Trump's
what offensive they've been doing since April, and it's done nothing other than massive casualties.
CNN reported, quote, Russia is thought to be days or weeks away from surging into a heightened summer offensive, perhaps using the 160,000
what they're doing other than
troops
doing human
Ukrainian
wave
officials
tactics,
have said are massing near their front lines.
which they have
But
the
in the past 2
population to
weeks,
do for
Russia
a
has
while.
But it's still stupid.
also made small but vital advances, placing its forces in a better position to cut off Ukrainian troops in 3 key towns: Pokrovsk, Konstantinovka, and Kupiansk on the eastern front. Now, real quick, I do want to pull up a map
Basically,
to
at
run
this
through.
point, they're trying to collapse the Donbass front.
And they're still doing it very slowly with terrible casualties, so
A couple
W.
different areas they're talking about for this offensive. This, of course, being Deep State Map, public resource. Moving into the east, and we had a video just a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, that remind me. Just a few weeks ago, they officially hit 1 million casualties.
About the issues around Pokrovsk right here. This is certainly the focus of Russian offensive operations for more than a year at this point, and we are seeing, if we use our
Isn't Russian incompetence
fancy
hilarious or what?
tool here to go back a ways to June 1st, you can see how how much the Russians have advanced around the northeast and the southwest of Pokrovsk, trying to encircle the Ukrainian force.
They've done, in the Pokrovsk area, they've done very little territory gain in a month and a half. And they probably took terrible casualties, too.
The second major pocket is here, Konstantinivka. Same thing. We'll go back to June 1st, and you'll see how not nearly as much progress, but you are starting to see Russian forces move up around
I
the
could
sides.
probably
This
walk
is
that
another hub
distance
they're
in
trying
an
to take
hour.
on the way through Kramatorsk.
No, 20 minutes around my house. That's
And
how
the
little
last
territory
one, interestingly,
they gained.
I feel like it's always in the conversation. Kupiansk
Oh, this is
here,
embarrassing.
Really,
when you
not a
talk
lot
about right
of
here.
movement
Oh, this is sad.
in this direction. I mean, yeah, the Russians have moved a tad, but if we go back, look at that. I mean, you're talking about 2 months worth of progress. It's just hardly advancing.
2
at
months
all.
in
Now,
advance, and
this
it's only maybe 200, 300 feet or something looking like.
Estimate that Russia is putting together 160,000
How
troops
sad.
to carry out some sort of large-scale offensive. If I
Now
just
imagine
heard
all
that
the
was coming from
casualties they
CNN,
had
I
too
would
doing
brush it
that.
aside, or quite frankly, any news organization, because that doesn't make sense with what we've seen in this conflict so far. Russia's summer and spring offensive has been ongoing since April.
And it's
They've
been
been
pathetic.
increasing the scope of attacks in those 3 areas of the front specifically. Where is this 160,000 supposed to be massed?
More importantly,
minorities in Russia.
More importantly, where is the logistics for this 162,000 troops? Where's their tanks? Where's their guns and all that? Because Russia has almost none of that now. It's right. They'll give them donkeys and all that. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I don't know.
And I'm not joking about that, people. That's the new thing now. Jeeps, bikes, donkeys, and stuff like that, because they don't have armored personnel carriers anymore because they keep running out of them.
We've seen that since the opening months of the war, really, when the conversation was
so much for a great
repeatedly,
power
just
military,
wait.
relying on donkeys
the big, bad
now.
Russian army is right around the corner. They're holding back. We've got all these
Russia
brigades and divisions.
thought they were the second biggest power in the world, and it turns out they're not even the second biggest power. They're not even the biggest. They thought they were the biggest power in the world. They're not even the biggest power in Ukraine.
They might not even be the second biggest.
Just getting ready to punch through in the Donbass, and here we are, 3 years later, still waiting for that big, quote, Russian army to come through and deal
The
that
territory
decisive blow
hasn't
against
really
Ukrainian
changed
forces.
much in 3 years now, people.
I don't know that there's 160,000 lined up somewhere. The fact that this is coming from Ukrainian intelligence gives me a little bit of pause because they've been pretty accurate with a lot of these assessments as of late. If you recall, they were the ones that said there are North Korean soldiers being moved to Russia to participate in the Kursk fight. And for a couple weeks at least, that was brushed aside.
And almost all of them got killed too.
Ukraine is just saying this to try to pull in more international support. Then South Korea got on board, and next thing you know, they are absolutely North Korean soldiers fighting in Kursk. And even within the last few weeks, North Korea has finally admitted and celebrated the loss of their soldiers fighting alongside Russia.
Imagine celebrating your troops being murdered.
Ukrainian intelligence has been pretty good on that front.
Kim
I'm just
Jong-un
hard pressed
for
to
ya.
looking at a map to understand exactly where 160,000 troops could be massing without any sort of
Hey, Kim,
notice.
you saw what happened last
I mean,
year?
when you get
That'll
down
happen
closer
if
to
you
the
mess
front,
with South Korea, even worse.
Ukraine has been hammering some of these areas
Because they're going to whoop your
back
ass this
from the
time
line of
around.
contact with
The
drones.
population
Whether they're
North
medium to
Korea would
long-range
go from
drones,
whatever it
even
is right
target
now
even
to
beyond that.
zero.
So it's hard to imagine thousands, let alone 100,000
Same goes
plus
if Russia
Russian
fucks with
soldiers
Poland. They're going to
massing
get their asses
somewhere
whooped by Poland
prepared to
alone.
carry out an attack. But we'll
And you
wait
know
and
that
see.
Poland will probably be
one
like,
note on
hey,
that,
Ukraine,
Russian
can you let us? No, I think Polish is they're right there, and they invade and annex Belarus, and then go on to go like 100 kilometers, 150k into Russia.
You're saying they're playing like Vicky 2 and Age of History Free like me?
No, there was a pretty interesting video I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if you remember back a couple of years ago.
You're saying they're as good as
the
me?
Russian army tried to cross the Seversky
Probably
Donetsk
not.
River
Probably
into the
similar
Donetsk
in
region,
skill level, yeah.
and they
That's
lost,
how they
like,
could
an
give you a
entire
run for your money.
battalion's worth of armored vehicles. Anyways, I saw this clip and it was like flashbacks.
maybe it's just
of
Russia's
that.
too
So
incompetent to
let me
play.
this here real quick. We've got this was a
Levels
video put
incompetence.
forward by the Ukrainian 54th Motorized Rifle
Imagine
Brigade,
being incompetent
showing
for
that they
centuries
destroyed
at war.
what ended
Shake
up
my
looking
head.
to be like 6 total BMPs.
Centuries?
just
No,
outside
not
of
like
Belarus.
that.
So it's very similar in a lot of ways to that Seversky
Remember the
Donetsk,
Winter
where,
War, pals?
I don't know. Did they just get hung up? Like, is there something about that crossing that they couldn't get through?
Imagine
And
losing
they're just
World War
completely
I of the
halted
Allies.
in broad daylight, and you see the Ukrainian drones just taking their sweet time, hammering one after the other. In fact, coming in here, just hitting it again to make absolutely sure.
So badly you get overthrown.
This
Twice.
is one of the reasons that we've seen so many motorcycles and ATVs and civilian vehicles used to move Russian soldiers towards the front. You've got things like
isn't
this.
it beautiful
the minute
seeing a Russian APC being turned into firewood?
Hammered by Ukrainian drones. So this supposedly was just a couple days ago, again in the Bilorivka area. But when you see this, all I can think of is those 160,000 plus troops that are supposedly massing somewhere, or what a large-scale Russian attack might look like. This is one of the, we're not seeing big attacks. This is one of the larger groupings of Russian armor we've seen in quite a while, and they didn't appear to last all that long. But
because they suck ass.
If this is something that Russia is actually pushing forward, we've got another 46 days or so before Trump's deadline comes due, and there might be additional sanctions and or secondary terror.
Remember who had to bail them out in World War II when the Nazis invaded? Oh, that's right, we did.
Or maybe even more placed upon Russia. So if they are planning on some large
Stalin remembers. He even admitted pretty much
5 weeks before that timeline wraps up. Guess we'll keep an eye out. That's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, so what do you have to say about that? Trump seemingly doing a 180 on Ukraine now for once being based?
About time.
So yeah, we hate Trump on his channel, and we hope the absolute worst happens to him, but if he does something right, we'll acknowledge it and all that. We're not going to be like partisan Dems, apparently, and all of a sudden be against Ukraine.
Stupid corporate Democrat fascist enabling fascism.
Now, we're not going to trust him and all that, and I would not be surprised if he flipped just like that. But for right now, if he's on the right side, we'll support him on that regard. Now, stick to it and all that. Oh, my God. And also, I posted Preston Stewart's YouTube channel if you want to check him out. He's been really damn good the last few weeks when I've been watching him. All right. So now, on to the next topic.
Meatloaf Joe Rogan says why he's a fascist dipshit.
Hey, remember, he admits he's a moron. And that is a massive understatement. I mean, that's one thing we'll at least give him credit for in that regard. So yeah, this is.
Yeah, I think he's caught one too many blows to the head from his days as a wrestler, dude.
And Fear Factor.
Yep.
All right. So
he's had one too many experiences, and it's like that, and it's damaged his brain.
So of course, Rogan was on a podcast recently explaining why he likes Trump and all that, and it's as bad as you think it is, and Kyle is going to viciously make fun of him for it, so let's go watch this.
So it looks like Joe Rogan did an interview here with the Ultimate Human. I guess this is a Daily Caller affiliated podcast.
How is Daily Caller still around? That's like sucks ass.
He basically gets asked here about his support for Trump, about why he decided to interview Trump, knowing it would help him and all that stuff, and he sort of tells all about what led him to effectively be a little Trump sycophant. So let's watch this and we'll break it down as we go.
There was a bunch of things that happened. First of all,
sex with Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, remember he was simping Elon a few weeks ago as well.
It was the lawfare. There was these lawsuits that they were trying to.
Oh yeah, sure. Everyone was mean by him by convicting him. Yeah, sure, pal.
Blatantly and obviously, the case with the
poo pants,
the bookkeeping error, or the bookkeeping, whatever it was, the misdemeanor that they had charged him with 34 felonies.
They're all subhuman, and that we should commit genocide on them.
He was.
I'm going to have Captain nuking Palestine because the Democrats support Palestine, so I'm going to want them nuked.
You sound like a dumb leftist all of a sudden. Because you know how much they horseshoe theory. And also, Rogan, he is a convict. Deal with it. All those allegations are correct.
It's a misdemeanor, and it's also contribution. Exactly. It's also past the statute of limitations.
Rogan wants to be a convict as well.
Here he's saying the fact that Trump is a criminal and was under 91 different criminal investigations, 91 crimes is what he committed, right? Rogan viewed that as an indictment of the justice system, as an indictment of the legal
community.
Sure,
pal. Or maybe Trump is a criminal. How about that?
You love fascism
and going after him.
You love fascism and you love Nazism.
You and I both
and you're
know
a contrarian moron.
Rogan didn't do any fucking reading on those cases at all. He has no idea the first fucking thing about it. I went
But
deep.
Kyle,
I read
he's
the
an
entire
admitted
fucking
moron. What do you
indictment,
expect?
The Jack Smith indictment, when that came out,
Remember,
we
he's
literally
admitted
read
that
the
he's
whole
an
thing. We
imbecile,
debated
that he's
Michael Tracy
stupid.
about that.
Like me.
I read the entire indictment, the Keisha James one, talking about the various.
No,
pieces
trust
of
me,
fraud
you're way
in
more
regards to his
intelligent than
business
Joe
in New
Rogan
York.
could even ever hope
He
to
lied
be.
about everything. Lied about the size of his fucking apartment. Lied about how much he sold that shit for. Did tax fraud and insurance fraud and business fraud.
And
and
he's a
bank
pedo
fraud.
now.
I mean, this is a guy his university was fake, his charity was fake, like all that shit.
Everything
And
about
Rogan,
that orangutan
who's
is
clearly
fake.
done no reading on fucking any of it, and
And
doesn't
like
know
I
the
said,
first thing
we don't
about
trust
any
his
of it.
Ukraine support
Here he
either.
goes, the fact that this guy was charged with 91
No,
crimes
here's something for you.
leads me to
Does Donald Trump even really exist?
He's that fake.
like him more.
Yeah.
This is what we like
Donald
to call
Trump as a
online
person
brainworms,
may not
online
even
anti-establishment
exist.
brainworms. In other
May
words,
just be
the
like
fact that CNN is talking
AI construct, like Iron Man did after he died in the comics once.
Or maybe he's some gas in Minecraft.
talking about all these crimes that Trump committed means fuck CNN, I hate CNN, therefore I'm on the side of the guy who
He's
committed
too
the
busy
crime.
meowing.
Right? The idea that this was all lawfare is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. We watched him with our own 2 eyes do January 6th. We watched him try to do the fake elector slate, which was an attempt to just steal the election from Joe Biden after he knew he lost, and he said behind the scenes he knew he lost, but he tried to steal that election. He had his own crowd violently storm the Capitol. He was still calling U.S. congresspeople and senators after that saying, throw out the results of the election. Don't accept Biden as the president. This is what this guy did.
You
have
lost,
the nerve to sit there and
dipshit.
pretend
Get over
like
it.
it's all fucking lawfare.
Come on, you
His
got
brain is
dumped
cooked.
by the
His brain
American
is cooked.
people.
When you're surrounded
And
by
then
And
right-wing
the
idiots all day.
CIA came in and basically cooed the public.
And then they vote.
They basically psyoped the public into accepting a fascist dictatorship.
And then they voted you back in, and you're still crying about 2020. Shut up and get over it.
And all you know is the anti-establishment fucking
That's
narrative,
all
which
he's
is
got.
based
'Cause
in
he's a
reality.
crybaby Karen.
You don't read the first thing about the actual
Yeah,
cases. This is what that
exactly.
looks like. So now, just the fact that he was charged with 91 crimes, he goes, well, that makes me support him more. Could you imagine if it's a Democrat who's charged with 91 crimes? Would Joe Rogan immediately be like, I'm with that Democrat? Are you kidding? No, he'd be like, look at how corrupt that person is. Look at how insane that person is. Look at how beyond the pale that person is. But when it's Trump charged with 91 crimes, suddenly it's, oh, that's just evidence of how pure he is and how much of a fighter against the system he is. And
he's a loser. How about that one?
Legitimate.
He's the loser of losers.
Unlike you, and
He
so I
can't
happen
even
to know
play
that this shit is
Pokemon
real
right,
as a
like furry
motherfucking heart
retard.
attack, bro. The number,
You don't even
he was
know
charged
what
with 91
Pokemon
crimes,
is.
because I'll be damned, that motherfucker committed 91 crimes. In fact, he probably committed way more than that and got away with most of them.
He's a convicted felon. Like, hey, they can do that to you. Do you understand that?
Because
I
he
haven't committed
is, you
91
idiot.
crimes. I haven't done that. He did.
Imbecilic
That's the difference.
fucktard.
This is the dumbest, first they came for it. Like, are you kidding me? This is not what
Oh,
that
yeah.
poem is
Yeah,
for.
Trump's just the
poem is
victim.
for,
I
what
forgot.
the ICE
That's right, I
Gestapo
forgot.
thugs are doing to immigrants in this country. It's not for, first they came for the billionaire pedophile elites and I said nothing. Like, what are you doing, Joe? God, what an embarrassment.
If they can do that to a former president, a former fucking president who's rich as shit, they can do that to him. They can do that to you too. You can't cheer this on. This is insane. And then when they try to kill him, all those things.
Who's they?
Fuck Rogan.
Just like Joe Rogan is a fake person.
Rogan, you probably have more money than Trump and I'm not joking on that. That's how fake Trump's richness is.
He does.
They tried to kill him. Oh, you mean the fucking
hell? I probably have more
Republican
money now than
guy?
Trump.
That guy? They say they like it's this big conspiracy and it's the deep state and it's no. This was a right-wing
And I'm more
incel
successful.
loner asshole, a groiper right-wing freak. We know that. Why you? They tried to kill him.
Oh yeah,
You're making
Trumpsters
it
are
seem
still
like it's
denying
the deep
that the
state or
guy
some
who
fucking
tried to kill
conspiracy.
Trump
No,
last
it was
year is a
right-winger. It was a Republican, a registered fucking
What the
Republican.
anniversary
This
just
is
happened.
insane. And then when they try to kill him, all those things. Twice. It was like, yeah, but the big one, the Pennsylvania one, was like, holy shit. And then the fact that they cremated that kid 10 days later, and then you find out he used to be in a BlackRock commercial, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then his apartment's professionally scrubbed. There's no silverware in it, and you don't hear a peep out of it. There's no press conference. There's no like, this is what we know about the case. This is what happened.
Yeah, and by the way, that is fishy, but it's fishy not in the way that Joe Rogan thinks. Trump nearly got assassinated by some weird incel loser freak. And Trump never mentions that guy, never heard him say his name, never heard, he said, oh, I'm satisfied with the results of the investigation, and he moves on. This motherfucker still bitches about Rosie O'Donnell. But he's got nothing to say about the dude
Maybe
that
he's a
nearly killed him.
sexist?
Something is fishy there, Joe Rogan.
Oh, but
Something
we already know
is
he
fishy
is
there, but perhaps
misogynistic.
it's not in the way that you think it's fishy. It's not. It's got nothing to do with the Democrats. It's got to do with
like hating women. Is one of his other religions.
It seemed to just sort of
imagine him getting close to Ike and Bunko. Oh no!
First of all, how did he get onto? How did he get into line of sight? He was 100.
The only upside to that is that he'd be beaten to death by Ike with her. Ike would beat them to death with her Bible.
And what will Bunko beat him up with?
I'm not sure.
An American flag, remember? Ah!
Oh yes, he's American, so a gun.
I don't even know if that's sniper. Did he act independently?
You're saying the Japanese?
Did he just do his job?
You're saying a
What about a guy just beat him to death with it?
You're saying that 15-year-old Japanese woman wants the Second Amendment?
Or was he told to actually fire?
Well, she's a Westerboo, so
they killed the shooter.
Oh, I don't know.
Self-professed Westerboo, so.
And all of a sudden, conservatives will be like, maybe we should not let them have guns all of a sudden.
There was some controversy.
Well, they think there might have been a second shooter as well.
They say that regarding minorities all the time. So
they've managed to cover it up. I mean, it would have been Lee Harvey Oswald 2.0 if Trump had died.
Remember, if they didn't have double standards that have no standards at all.
Honestly, I think you gave me a little bit of an idea of add-on Bunko's personality with that rant.
Notice we're 2 minutes and 8 seconds into why do you interview Trump? Why do you support Trump? Not a single policy has been mentioned.
Make her a Second Amendment freak.
Not a single one. So now, homie's awfully quiet now that Trump just kicked 17 million people off their Medicaid. Ripped healthcare away.
Should be like a response, reasonably, at least like reasonably responsible with it.
She'll be like Anna Markey.
From poor people, disabled people. He's awfully quiet now that 3 million people lost their SNAP. Their food stamps.
Yeah, because he wants people to die.
Awfully quiet, evil. Given that the class war was just waged on the bottom 90%, where the wealthy get another tax cut, the wealthy get another subsidy, and the bottom 90% get screwed over yet again.
And he wants to creep
all
on
this talk about Trump, why he supported Trump, and nothing about policy. And this guy's fucking ruining the country, opening up alligator
get beaten to death by a Bible,
camp in El Salvador. He got nothing to say,
to death by a gun.
The Democrats and the lawfare, bro.
Trump's team has got, the Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Homeland Security. You got to think that they're.
You would hope.
I hope.
But, I mean, hey, we're only in April, right? Yeah. So he's only been in office for a few months.
There's a lot of stuff.
Closing in on the first 100 days.
So that was kind of the shift. You're sitting back watching this.
Yeah.
And like, I can't let this just.
Well, it's also, there's no real conversations with him where you're just treating him like a human being. Like everything.
Because he's a moron. He deserves nothing but being mocked, you moron, too.
He's an acolyte to the dark side of the force.
I'm not taking him seriously. I think he's a loser. Sorry.
Gross.
So what Rogan is saying here is, I didn't like how the media was mean to Trump.
Oh,
I feel like they took him out of context. It was gross. No, Joe, the thing that's gross is that the motherfucker told over 30,000 lies in his first term alone.
I don't like his policies. I'm going to make fun of him for it, and you're going to cope and deal with it.
You did with him. Where you let him lie to your
Hey, I was able to make fun of Biden for years along with you guys. Why can't you go along with making fun of Trump?
Hillary Clinton. I never...
We've done that.
We made fun of Biden so much. Now, why can't you make fun of Trump? Because he's a brain-dead retard like Biden.
Said it. The audience would say it, and I'd go, well.
Partisan hack.
He lied right to Joe Rogan's face, and Joe Rogan said like,
You're saying he's a Russian asset, too?
Right.
Would not surprise me.
Like, are you kidding me? He said, Rogan says to him, go ahead and make the case as to why you think you won the 2020 election, and I'll step back and let you talk, because nobody else let you do that. Are you out of your fucking mind?
He lost.
You are saying, I will now proceed to not fact-check your lies, and that makes me more virtuous than the mainstream media.
Shut up forever about it.
It sucks.
Stop polluting the airways with your bullshit.
Yes, he unfortunately won in 2016, 2024. He lost in 2020. Cope and deal with it.
No, that makes you less virtuous. I'll take any mainstream media asshole over Rogan any fucking day of the week.
And he did
when
January 6th.
Lie to his audience's face, face over and over.
And he got impeached for it too, and he should have actually been kicked out regardless.
Mark Andreessen lied to his audience over and over. Peter Thiel did the same thing. Mark Zuckerberg did. He has on a billionaire and coddles his nuts seemingly every fucking month and lets them lie about, oh, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is debanking conservatives, bro. That's a lie. They protect people from being debanked, and they're the anti-scam police.
And I'm sure if people were debanked, they probably did something that warrants it too. Just saying.
You let billionaires do class war propaganda and...
Sorry, but I don't trust conservatives when they act like all innocent or whatever. Usually they do something pretty bad to warrant a backlash.
Lie to your audience and dupe your audience. You're the fucking problem here, Joe. Oh my God.
so anti-American. Like, if you're an American and you believe in our justice system, and if you believe in our system of electing representatives, it should be the best people should have this opportunity to express what their plan is. This is what I want to do. This is where I stand on the issues. This is how I think I can pull it off. And then the American people are supposed to look at this person saying it and that person saying it and decide. But that's not what we were getting. We were getting one side that was radically being supported by almost all of mainstream media except Fox News.
Are you fucking kidding me? CNN and MSNBC are both sides factories all day long, and Fox News and One American News and Newsmax are cheerleading with their fucking pom-poms for Donald Trump. Spare me this bullshit about how, oh my God, they're all so in the tank.
Have sex with Donald Trump.
And also, no, Rogan, all of mainstream media was pro-Trump. I don't want to hear it.
For Democrats.
Remember, this is how fascist dictatorships rise. The media are the biggest fucking enablers of fascism.
Un-American.
They always have been, always will be.
American to me. It's just like, this is you're subverting democracy. You're killing the whole thing.
You support
and you're
a
doing
dictator,
it with deep
pal.
state
How
money.
about that one?
The guy who supported Donald Trump.
You have
you guys are subverting
no right
democracy.
to say a
the guy
thing
you
about that. Considering that you support fascism because you're a fascist.
All I have to do is just say January 6th and you're instantly owned.
Supported trying to overturn the last election. It's amazing to me. I don't know what happened to this man's brain. This man's brain is fucking
Kyle, he has no brain. He admits he's a retard, remember?
COVID killed him.
That is,
he never had a brain.
That's incredible. By the dark side of the Force.
Clearly, this I don't know. If
remember, the dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
His brain is more gooey and mush than a ditto.
And this is
yep.
Maybe he is a ditto.
It's a little peek into the mindset of this guy and what he thinks.
I can
and
see
it
it.
literally is like contrarian brainworms, right? Online contrarian brainworms. Like, I'm against the mainstream. And so they charged Trump 91 crimes, so now
Hello,
I like
Michael
Trump.
Tracy,
It's
I'm
like,
hearing.
It literally is that dumb. And here we are now, and he's still doing the shit. Now he's trying to tiptoe out of the room of being pure MAGA. Now he's trying to...
Oh, no, pal, you're not getting away with that one. Sorry.
You're going right back in the MAGA box.
And then he'll do some tepid criticism of Trump's policies, but he'll never flat out come out there and rip Trump a new asshole. Never.
We will, though, and we'll
Even
have
on
a
this
fun time
Epstein
doing
file
it.
Shit, he's like, oh yeah, basically like saying they're lying about it or implying that they're lying about it.
rip
But
Trump
who,
apart all the
Joe?
time.
Care to go deeper
'Cause
on
he
that? Care to
deserves
explain
it.
why they are lying about
He
it? They, by
probably
the
have
way,
a
is
sexual
Trump,
kink
and he's
about
lying
it.
about it because he's in the fucking Epstein files and he probably had Epstein killed. Right?
Oh, by the way, by
no,
they usually mean the Jews.
Yup.
Never go that far. So anyway,
And then soon the Japanese from my blossoming suburb.
in other words, the reasons Rogan supported Trump are as stupid as you fucking thought they were. Hey y'all, do me
Yeah, we all know Trumpsters are fucking stupid. Like we mentioned last time with Chank, remember? So yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
So yeah, what do you guys see about Rogan and explain why he's an idiot that loves Trump? Wasn't as bad as we thought it was.
Oh, it was.
Oh,
my first thought was, it's because he's sexually harassing women. And it was like, it might as well have been.
Yep. Alright, so now, on to the next topic.
And that is the final one, the new Syrian crisis flare-up. God, Israel's really playing with fire now. Now seeking to trying to piss off the Neo-Ottoman Empire.
And Syria, too. So, of course, recently,
the same thing at this point. Syria is basically a Neo-Ottoman Empire, what would you call it, client state?
Yep. But
yeah, Syria is basically a client state of the Neo-Ottoman Empire.
So, of course, recently, Israel is starting shit up again, this time with Syria. They did strikes recently on Syria's military, which, by the way, remember, back when Assad fell, they pretty much destroyed Syria's military. So now they're going at it again, along with, of course, remember when they invaded parts of southern Syria back around Christmas. So now, more shit recently just started up when not only are they striking... So, of course, this whole thing blew up recently with Syrian forces fighting, God, because I had to look it up recently.
The Druze.
Yeah, I had to look it all up recently. There's like separate ethnic religious groups fighting each other in like southern Syria, and Syrian forces try to like break up or whatever, and Israel's like destroying Syria's army and such. It was bad enough that even the Trump regime told Israel to stop. That's pretty insane. and they actually listen. Hey Trump, if you have this power to make them stop, how about you tell them to stop genociding the Palestinians? Also, looking at you, old man Biden, why couldn't you tell them to stop early like Trump was able to do apparently so casually? So yeah.
Because they want to be next to each other on the beaches, on the colonized land that was the Palestinians.
So yeah, absolutely stupid situation going on in Syria right now. So let's see what DW covered, since they've gotten to more details of it, since I just learned about this like right before we began filming.
The news website Axios is reporting that Israel has agreed to pause its airstrikes against Syrian government forces in southern Syria after facing pressure from the White House. Israel had been launching strikes in
another Trump W somewhat, although you should have done that earlier for the whole area.
The city of Sweda after clashes between Bedouin tribes
delayed
and the
W
religious minority there. Israel said it aims
and of course
to
remember cautious
the Druze and keep the area close to its own border demilitarized. Now on Tuesday, the Syrian government in Damascus had sent troops to Sweda to restore order, but well into the evening, clashes and violent scenes continued.
Unprecedented scenes in Sweda. Syria's army and security forces deployed in the city's streets.
What army, though?
God is great. This is the center of Sweda.
Army supplies from the Neo-Ottoman Empire. That's
42nd
where.
Division. This is the middle of Sweda.
Because Israel fucked up Syria as much as they fucked up Iran recently.
After days of fierce sectarian violence between Sunni Bedouin tribes and the Druze minority. It was
they're kind of poking a much bigger bear with the Neo-Ottoman Empire.
So yeah, there is an ethnic conflict recently with Bedouins, which is like the majority ethnic group in that part of the Middle East, and the Druze. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. At first, Mike, I saw Dylan Birdsville on this recently, before I saw this, I thought he was saying the Jews at first, because they sound so similar, but it's not Jews, it's Druze. It starts with a D and such. They're like a Shia ethnic group in Syria. They're actually quite unpopular in Syria. There's like almost 700,000 of them, which is 3% of Syria's population. So quite a lot of people there in that ethnic group. And of course, it basically boiled down to like a Sunni Shia conflict, since the Bedouins are mostly Sunni. So inter-Muslim conflicts,
the
basically.
new government's forces fully entered Sweda. Until now,
the
city had managed
conflicts
its own
the Catholics and Protestants had back in the day in Christianity.
Which, of course, conservatives don't like when you point that out.
security, relying on local Druze fighters to maintain order amid widespread distrust of a government largely dominated by Islamists. But after clashes killed dozens in the last 3 days, and reports of sectarian violence against the Druze community emerged, the Druze spiritual leadership said it caved to pressure from Damascus to allow the forces in. The Defense Ministry later announced that a ceasefire had been reached. Shortly afterward, Israel launched airstrikes against Syrian government forces in Sweda. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his country was acting to defend the Druze minority and to stop fighting near its border.
Yeah, sure, pal, sure.
We've also been operating in Syria since this morning.
And also remember, when
we have a commitment
Nazi
to
Yahoo
maintain
speaks in
southwest
Hebrew,
Syria
you know it's something
as a
very
demilitarized
bad.
zone on the border of
Oh,
Israel.
yeah. That's how it
We'll
always
not
is.
return to a situation
Whenever he
where a
speaks in
second
English,
Lebanon
it's
has
trying
been
to make it what he's
established for us
saying
there.
sound better. But when he speaks in
Dead
Hebrew,
and wounded
everything
from
he
the
says is going to be
clashes.
immediately
That's
unacceptable.
That's where you get the
Were
idea
taken
of
to
what
a
he
hospital
really
outside the city.
thinks.
We were entering Sweda to secure the civilians and prevent looting.
And I still deep
was
down
on
think
an armoured
he wants to
personnel
take over
carrier
all of
when the
Syria as
Israeli
much as he
drone
can,
hit
like
us.
the Ottomans.
There are lots of casualties. Many young men were
Yeah, but you know that he's going to have to get through the Neo-Ottoman Empire to do
Despite
that.
the ceasefire,
And you
fighting
know,
continued
and
on
you
the
know,
ground,
Turkey, the
raising
Neo-Ottoman
fears that the
Empire has
conflict
A,
could
nuclear
descend
weapons,
further into
B, they
sectarian
don't give a shit about
violence.
the Israelis, C, they don't give a shit about the Palestinians
And let's
either.
get more now. We're joined here in
And they
the
probably
studio
use
by
it fourth
DW
excuse,
reporter
we're part of
Ghazi
NATO,
Khamis,
unlike
who's
you.
from Syria, and she joins us now. So, I
Oh
mean, a few
God,
days
could
ago,
you
we saw these,
imagine the
violent clashes,
position
right,
that
between
the
local
Both of
how
them would be in an
awkward
awkward position.
NATO would be, and if Israel and the Neo-Ottoman Empire went to war.
Hey, Trump, you want to do something very base? How about you tell Turkey and Israel to leave all of Syria? How about that one? That sounds very base, doesn't it? Get out of Syria entirely.
Very base.
And that includes the Golem Heights.
2 national governments involved.
Leave the
Syria
Golem
and
Heights
Israel.
alone. Give it back to Syria.
Locals in
And same with
Sweden
Northern
say
Syria,
they're living
Neo-Ottoman
one of the darkest
Empire.
chapters of their
Yep, all of you
history,
get
and
out.
they say, you know, we didn't get here overnight. This has to do with a lot of built-up tensions between...
Actually, now I just thought of that. Something Trump did recently, like in the last month or two. He actually got rid of a lot of sanctions recently, if you didn't hear.
Good on him. About fucking time.
Still don't know, because it's been like almost getting close to like a year since Assad's been overthrown. I'm still not sure what to say about the new regime in Syria and all that. It's still cautious about it. Still not sure what to say.
Between different sectarian groups,
can't say if they're good
religious
or
groups
bad.
that exist in the region and also in the country.
But I still stand
And
by
the
100%
tensions
what we
are
say.
between the
Israel,
Bedouin,
Turkey,
Sunni
get
tribes
out.
and the Druze
Yep.
community. And even the Druze within themselves are divided. And then there's the Sunni government that has interfered since yesterday, and the clashes have escalated since very quickly.
And the Syrian government is also involved. Tell us a little bit more about the role of the forces.
Until Israel destroys their
they
army
only entered
again.
yesterday, because before
Yep.
that, Syrian forces weren't
Again and
allowed
again
into
and
Sueda.
again and again.
Sueda was in charge of its own security, and so when they were arriving, the scenes were quite unusual and striking for local residents there. There was a lot of fear, and they kept assuring people, you know, we're here to maintain security. But what happened right after that was that there were reports of serious violations, and that triggered a lot of clashes afterwards, because the local religious leader released a statement, and he called for armed action against the security forces. And then that's when Israel got involved again, and there were more Israeli strikes. So the situation was very complicated and chaotic and escalated.
From what I read, both sides did massacres too. I'm trying to look up the Wikipedia article.
What are you hearing from people on the ground? Because I'm just looking at the figures that have been reported here, and you know, apparently about half the people killed are Syrian government soldiers.
It's kind of
On
like
other hand, some of the violence there.
The Christians and the Muslims in, I think it's the Central African Republic, trying to wipe each other out.
Or probably Nigeria as well.
There's also attributed
Mostly,
to their presence as well.
Also in,
Right.
well, yeah, you got
So
the Boko
the
Haram
situation
and
is
them.
extremely difficult. Local journalists tell me that they're seeing bodies on the streets. Clashes are still ongoing. Civilian bodies are piling up, and that there's been arson attacks, there's been lootings, and there's also been a lot of security members, like you said, that have been killed because there's militia fighters, Druze fighters, that are also targeting them. And civilians are caught in the middle of all of this.
Give us a little bit more of the backstory, because we keep talking about the Druze, right? This is a semi-autonomous area, we have to say, within Syria. Who is this group? Explain their ties to Israel to us.
Druze are a minority in Syria. They're an offshoot of early Shia Islam. They have their own belief system. They're very secretive. And there's around 1 million Druze in the world, and the majority of them are in Syria. They're
Like
also
700,000
Druze in
almost.
Israel and in Lebanon.
Yeah.
And even though
It's
they
a
have
pretty
the same
solid
sect,
amount.
there's a lot of
It's a fair
political
amount
differences
considering
it's
Syria's population.
It's 3%, which is insane.
between them. So the Druze in Israel are loyal to the state of Israel. Many of them serve in the IDF, even though they didn't have to. And the Druze in Syria have, the majority of them have a very different opinion to that. Now, what has been polarizing in this conflict is that one of the sheikhs that has been leading these Druze fighters is believed to be, now we don't have proof of this because it would be treason to be in contact with Israelis on the Syrian side. So he hasn't openly admitted it, but the Druze community widely believes that he's in contact with Israeli Druze members, and many of them speculate that that is why there were Israeli strikes soon after his statement was released as well.
The new government has promised to bring order to Syria, to bring some stability. I mean, there are still many questions.
Pretty wild, honestly, this is turning out to be.
Maybe if Israel and Turkey leave Syria, maybe they'll have more stability. How about that one?
Government, but also a lot of challenges, aren't there?
Leave them the fuck alone.
Right. The main criticism is
Respect
that it is
Syrian
failing
territory.
to hold its security members accountable for violations that have been.
Hey, Trump, you did something good recently here. How about you go all the way and make them bleed?
Committed first
exactly.
in the coast, and now
that's what we need. That's what they need at this point.
Fear they're going to have the
Get
same
that.
fate because weeks ago
Leave
there
them
was a recent
alone,
investigation
Israel, and
into
leave
the
them
coastal
alone,
massacres, the
Neo-Ottoman
ones that
Empire.
occurred in May. And they said they're
Do I
they
need to go on
established the
Ancient
line
History
of
Free
command
and play
led all
Syria
the
and kick
way
them out
to the
for that?
ministries of Syria. So
I think you need
the
to at this
people in
point.
charge were directly under Syria's government, and they were not held to account. They're still serving under Syria's army. They're still part of Syria's forces. So without this accountability, there's going to be clashes because there's no trust from the minorities of the Syrian forces, and they're retaliating against them because of it, and it's just fueling the cycle of violence.
And it's still a developing situation, we have to say, a very complicated one. So we thank you so much for joining us to put it all
So
into
complicated, I
a
can't
bit
even
of
find the
context.
article on, which is starting to get
SJWs,
annoying because I read it earlier.
Oh, that's annoying.
So yeah, what do you guys say about that? Israel's starting shit up again in Syria when they can't even do anything since their armies have already been destroyed like twice.
Yeah.
Again, I would not be surprised if Turkey and Israel invade Syria and they would just walk in with no problem. Even Russia would have no problem walking in for once. Like, Syria has no army whatsoever.
Yeah, even the Ottoman Empire could just walk in tomorrow and there'd be nothing they could do.
Yep, no one could stop
Then
anyone
again,
from
of
invading.
course, Syria is basically the Neo-Ottoman Empire's client state now, so they kind of don't need to.
Yeah, so not fully exactly sure the exact details of this. It sounds like very complicated, and also doesn't help when I can't find a Wikipedia article to read up and all that. But in the end, fuck Israel for doing what they did, and also, like I said earlier, Israel and Turkey leave Syria. Do I make it clear? Trump, go in there and tell them to leave. You would get our full support if you do that too. How about
Exactly.
that? How about that for bipartisan support? We would praise Trump like 3
Yeah.
times tonight, and we hate that fucker immensely. But hey, with that though, we have finally covered all the topics. Alright guys, so see you all next time for episode 134.
See you then.